Hello, and welcome to The Nature Connection, Science, Wildlife, and Environment Radio, with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy.
Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Nature Connection show. Today, Nancy and I are chatting with Margot-Carrera. She's a fine art nature photographer, and she takes these beautiful images of landscapes, scenery, flowers, wildlife. It's just absolutely vibrant and beautiful, and you can go to her website to take a look at her work, carrerafineart.com. And she also has a couple of Etsy stores where you can actually purchase her work in the form of scarves, gifts, wonderful pieces for your home. And I'm going to spell the name. It's Carrera, C-A-R-R-E-R-A. So carrerafineart.com is your main portal for that. And we also have her featured up on our website, blendradioandtv.com. And you'll see her work coming up in the May-June issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. Welcome, Margot. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voice and reconnect with you.
I know. It's awesome. Nancy and I. I know.
Time.
We've known each other, I think, since the very beginning of the Blend magazine, back in the Blend before we went Southwestern and National International, before Google was around. I think we knew each other, right? Way back when. But we're getting younger.
It's been fun to watch you grow.
Thank you, and you too. I remember you in San Diego area back in the day where we all lived out that way. And you were doing a lot of work in interior design and also working with people in regards with framing art. So art has always been a part of you, but also doing a lot of travel. Do you still work in framing, or do you help people choose frames for their art?
Yes, when they purchase on my Etsy store and they purchase one of my art, I always help them with design and color, and also some of the latest trends like the rustic look or the shabby chic look, and they tell me, and then I help them find frames. They can purchase the frames from me, or they can just get my art and put it into frames that they find.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful! Because that is a big part of art, is having the right frame, and it can change the art. And it's good to have the right frames for your art to be true, right? Because that's that balance. As you, as a photographer, taking an image, and I know that, we're kind of in this world. We even, as travel writers and photographers, we get to this thing where everybody's like, "Oh, just snap your phone, and you've got the best photo ever." And there's a difference of what happens. I don't believe you have to have the eye and the composition to really make a good photo. It's not about just click, click, click everywhere.
That's true. I often say to people, they say, well, I can just, develop my photograph that I took on my trip. And then they ask me to edit it, and I edit it, and it looks like a totally different picture, because I'm able to bring out the depth in the picture. I'm able to bring out the right coloring. I'm able to get the right composition. A lot goes on after you take that snapshot. And for an artist or a photographer who does this as their profession, a lot goes into taking that snapshot too. Like, I really look deeply into, like, when I'm hiking, I'm looking for that perfect shot with the perfect lighting and the light highlighting the tree, making the tree glow or the flower glow, or looking for that beautiful bird and being able to get up close enough and not scare that bird off so that I can get a really personal picture with that bird. And oftentimes I get the picture of the animal actually looking into my eyes or looking into the viewer's eyes. So you kind of capture the soul of the picture. So there's difference between snapshot and somebody who does this for their profession.
And takes the time, because especially nature,
Oh, you have to be patient.
There's a patience that comes, and we found that, when you're photographing birds or butterflies, sometimes just sit down for a while and connect. There's a connecting part that happens when you're photographing nature, and you slow down. Is that part of why you enjoy it? Is that process, that patience is a good thing?
Yeah, it does really take patience because, the lighting changes in the moment. A cloud may come over and take away all your shadows, and when you're working with wildlife, that's where the real patience comes in. And connecting, you said, I kind of feel like that's one of my gifts. I somehow really connect with the animal and gain their trust, and don't know really how that happens. It's just maybe because I'm sending out so much love to them, and they don't feel threatened, and maybe they can feel that love. I'm not sure, but I've had lots of animals actually. You would swear they're posing for me, even the butterflies. I get really great butterfly shots and bird shots, and yeah, so I have so much fun doing that.
What led you to nature photography, and deciding this is something I'm going to do as a profession?
I have been photographing since I was 15 years old. I learned it in high school, went on a trip to Europe with it, and then when I got into college, I actually got to study with a man who was a student of Ansel Adams, the father of black and white photography, landscape photography. And he taught me a lot of Ansel Adams techniques. And also I went out hiking with him frequently during my classes, and got to go to New Mexico, where Ansel Adams did a lot of his work. And that's when the nature part of the photography really kicked in, and I realized I loved so much to be out in nature, and it really became a passion and really lights me up every time I go out for a photo shoot. I come back just so happy.
Yeah,
very healing, very nurturing, and
there's a happiness that happens, and I think it's something that's very centering. Like when we go out hiking, there's this, and I also think because we're so close to computers and cell phones and all this technology, that we need to be out in nature as much as we can and surround ourselves with as much beauty, natural beauty, as we can, to balance off, I don't know, the weird vibes that come from technology. There's weird things. I feel like we're microwaving ourselves, And when we go out and there's just that quiet, and you can just hear the birds and everything, there's this literal euphoria that washes over. Oh, I know, Nancy, you're like that. Yeah, I mean, just how we were raised. Like I was raised doing this, and there's this special thing. And I think that what's great is when it comes to art, sometimes pieces are so maybe expensive, or it's something that people can't afford sometimes. But then when you look at what you're doing, allowing your work to be part of an experience that people can use in their home, so they can lighten up a room, they can wear it as a scarf. There's like this affordable piece of art that people are wearing, but it's connecting them with nature wherever they go. Sometimes people won't go out hiking, or even a walk. It's like, they think they're gonna, I don't know. People have a fear sometimes of nature. So I think you're helping to bridge the gap with your work.
Yeah, it's nice to wrap yourself up in nature, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, it does remind you to go outside.
Exactly. Some of the work that you do, I know you have, the Etsy shop, and everyone can go to etsy.com/shop/Margot-Carrera, and it's Margot with a T on the end. Just got to get my spelling right. Am I doing it right? Just in case.
You are
never
doing
know.
it right.
But it's beautiful. But you have, wall art, and then you put, you've got these roses. I was looking at the roses too that you photograph, and you really do have a thing on butterflies. But there's being able to have it at home. I think that's something, and at work. Do you find a lot of your customers on Etsy, which I think Etsy is cool, number one, that people can have this kind of outlet to do this? Are they trying to, is it the home or people bringing it into their office at all to have like a happier zone for that?
Oh, yeah. People who are buying my work, I have people buying them as office gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I had one lady buy one of my pelican pictures for a man who was retiring in her office because that's his favorite bird. I had another one for the home where a mother bought a picture of a crashing wave that I took in Encinitas, California.
Oh.
And she bought it for her son because he's a surfer and he wanted that in his bedroom. And so it's how you relate to the image itself. Another man surprised me because I think of flowers being something women really love, but never really thought about a man loving it. And he bought my roses because it reminded him of the roses his mother grew. So it touches people in different ways, and then they want to have it around them in their home or their workplace.
That's nice. And the fact that you do note cards too, that's like an ancient thing these days.
So
like,
nice.
We need to have a note card. And I love, note cards where there's something that connects with you and another person, but you can write are they blank inside that you can write your own sentiments to someone that you're going to give a card to?
I find people with businesses really love note cards, especially mine, because they are they're not very large, so not a lot needs to be said, but what needs to be said needs to come from the person and from their own heart, and so they're able to put their own words in the blank note cards and have the beautiful images on the outside and the artwork, and it's almost like a double gift. They're getting a thank you for their business, and they're also getting the artwork in the card. So I find those are the people that tend to buy that the most, along with some of us who were born of an earlier year before the computer and like to still write handwritten notes instead of texting and emailing.
Yeah,
so,
it's a very personal touch. And I think we need to go back to a lot of that.
I think it's a big deal. Sometimes, people will send us a thank you, musicians,
They're like,
we've interviewed, and then suddenly like a handwritten note at our card, and I'm like, wow, and it's not something mass produced. So that's a beautiful thing when it's not something out of, the box store kind of deal where you're getting what everybody else has, but you're also, you're getting people to handwrite something, which is good. Because I don't know if we've forgotten that too, Margot. So it's a good thing. Now tell us about these scarves too, because to me they're so vibrant, and I love that. And everyone, you can go to etsy.com/shop/nature designed scarves. I think wearing nature, like you said, wrap yourself in nature, is absolutely amazing. But they're so vibrant that these are beautiful. I love the sunflowers.
Yeah, thank you. It was a fun thing. Somebody came across my portfolio, my art portfolio, a company called shopvita.com, and they asked me to do the artwork for their scarves. And they were a new developing company here in San Francisco, and a very proactive company. They provide education to all the makers who make the scarves, and in countries where they normally didn't have education. So I liked their giving nature and their proactive work. And that's how I married my art with their expertise in producing the scarves. So you get both people good at what they do and collaborating together to make something really special. I'm always excited when I design something and I get it actually in my hands and see it and feel it. And they're very nice quality, look very luxuriously, and they're large scarves. They could be worn as shawls as well. So I really enjoy doing that part of my job, and it's growing more in popularity, and especially that sunflower one that you're talking about. That's really selling tremendously right now because it's spring. You know, people want that look.
It's happy, and the thing to me, I think scarves. As women, we all know a scarf can change your entire wardrobe. You know, it's like you can have the basic suits, or whatever you're wearing, a black dress or whatever it is, and a scarf will change it up. You could have the same outfit every single day, and if you change your scarf, you have a completely different outfit. And when you're looking at nature and connecting this with the right flowers, if it's a rose, a sunflower, I mean, I'm also looking that you've got, purses and handbags and pillow covers with this too.
Right. I make handbags as well. And I'm proud to say that people who are buying them are writing back to me and telling me that every time they put on the scarf, they're getting lots of compliments. So I think a scarf is something that can dress up even a pair of jeans. You know, you could be going around in your jeans and put a beautiful scarf on and you're ready to go out to dinner. So scarves are a great accessory to your clothing line.
And I love these canvas bags too, these handbags, like a tote bag, but it's got a big flower on it. And it's like, it elevates a typical bag and makes it, I love the columbine flower too. That's Nancy's favorite.
That's my favorite flower.
That's Nancy's favorite. It's the columbine.
They all look like shooting stars to me.
Yeah, it's just amazing how the petals go.
I know.
You know,
beautiful.
They're really neat. So, but then what about the pillow covers? I think that's really neat because you could change up an office, you can change up your home. I mean, it just adds that flower power to it. How neat.
Right. The nice thing with that is it's a very inexpensive way to change the whole look of your living room. Or I also have pillows that you can use outdoors as well. And so
that's nice.
You can, if you're a person that likes to change up things, pillows are the very best way to make a difference in a room without having to spend a lot of money.
You could go seasonal.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You can, the flowers, you can go from the trees. And I know you do a lot of tree photography too. There's something, I mean, when you think about the wise old tree, it's true. They are wise, There's something magical about trees.
Yeah, they got their feet on the ground and they're reaching for the stars.
Yeah, I think the tree medicine.
They have a personality all of their own. Just like humans.
Yeah. Now, do you do a lot of hiking to get your photography, or do you go to botanical gardens?
I do a variety of things. I go hiking. I have went in San Diego. I really enjoyed the botanical gardens there, and also the wild animal park. But I've also gone on a lot of trips, like to Ireland and Peru, and so I get my art from all over. But I also get it from my backyard. Beautiful flower pops up, and that might be my best-selling flower, and it came right from my backyard.
That's so important that you say that, because I mean, we're big advocates of travel. Because for so many reasons, it's one of the best forms of education, and it gets you to think outside your comfort zone and connect with other people and cultures that you may not have, and have that understanding. But we forget what we have in our backyard is so incredible, and we should be part of that, that community part. We really work towards getting people to go out and take walks And we have a Facebook group, 1 Hour Walk. So everyone, onehourwalk.com. If you were going to take a walk today with anybody, alive or passed on, who would you take a walk with that you just want to sit and have a conversation with? Maybe it's about, flowers or photography. Who would that person be, and where would you take that 1 hour walk?
Well, if it can be somebody that's no longer with us, I would love to go on a walk through a garden with Georgia O'Keeffe.
Oh,
she's a famous painter. I just loved, she inspired me to take photographs of flowers and blow them up and make them large and really get in close with the flower to see the structure, the beauty, the patterns in the flower itself. And I would just love to go on a walk with her in the garden somewhere.
I agree. See, she's back in New Mexico again.
I am. Yeah.
You came full circle. You came full circle with it. Wonderful, Margot. It is such a pleasure to have you back on the show and connect with you and see your work, because it just, you look at it and you can't help but be happy. That's what I'm saying. You're bringing, nature and connecting people with nature in such a positive way. I love it. I love it. And I love that what you say, you can wrap yourself in nature. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that.
It's good to wrap up your neck. So when you get a little bit on, the scarf hides a lot.
It does. We need things that hide things, Margot.
Yes.
Well, this one's a nice large scarf, so you can hide a lot.
We need that too. Oh, a real pleasure. Everyone, again, you can go to Margot's website directly to see her work. It is CarreraFineArt.com. That's CarreraFineArt, CarreraFineArt.com. And of course, on Etsy, as I was saying, she'll be featured in the May-June issue, 2018 issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. And also, she's up on BlendRadioandTV.com. You'll see her page there with links to her Etsy stores and her website. And don't forget, Big Blend Radio airs Sunday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, we are live at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday and Sundays, we are at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, Margot, we have a special song for you because of all the nature connecting you do. This one is called Wind Through the Leaves.
Nice.
And it's from Mae Edwards, and Mae Edwards is M-A-E, MaeEdwards.com. It's the fourth album in a set of 4 that she did, which is inspired by her book, Starlet and Saint, a memoir on dualism. And this is off of her album, Grace. So enjoy, Margot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, girls.
Thanks.
Good connecting
Take care.
with you.
You too. Bye-bye. Everybody, here it is. Wind Through the Leaves.